Howdy, hello.
Hi, Ron. Are you back? Are you going to put your camera
Hey.
on? You said you
Uh,
would.
right away, huh?
Yeah.
Didn't,
Gotcha.
didn't even give me a chance to like make a joke of it or anything like that. Darn it.
How are we doing, everyone?
Good. Hi, Ben. You're in a different spot, but you still have a guitar behind you.
Sorry.
It's like a thing, right? Every room has a guitar strategically placed, right?
I like to move around my living space a lot so it feels fresh. After 3 years of working at home, it's like.
Yeah. Do you wander around your house just playing? That's what follows you?
Yeah, I've been trying to learn Mr. Bojangles at the minute, so hope it's
I'm betting a
my
lot of
new obsession.
Creedence Clearwater. No?
Yeah, you got to love a bit of Credence, definitely.
Ah, you got it, man.
Yeah, got to the
Down
old
on the
school.
bayou, man. Absolutely.
Yeah, more people are coming in.
I can see our good friends in Serbia are enjoying the weather.
Yeah, they're getting a tan.
Ron, where's your camera?
I'm going to go look for it. Oh, no, I'm not.
Oh.
It was part of what I was going to say today, but
You're still living on the couch?
Let's not be like Ron. Let's not take examples from bad old Ron. You guys are better than me. You turn on your cameras, and I promise to try very hard to have mine on by next week. Still going through a little bit of stuff, so forgive me. Am I forgiven?
I suppose.
All righty.
Hey guys.
Hey there, you. What's up, man?
What's up?
Hi, Nietzsche.
Hi there, Tron.
Where'd Alex go?
Oh, should we turn on music or not, Ron? What do you think?
Yeah, why don't you do it real quick? I don't know. I mean, as long as it works, though.
Or Ben can play something. That would be cool.
Of course.
Maybe next week.
No. I think it's
a little practice.
I was kind of hoping we'd have it on before start time. We can do it next week. Let's not waste time.
Okay.
Yeah, let's do it next week because it's already 1 minute in. So
okay.
So we can sort of get started. Yeah. Okay. So welcome to Community Update number 57. Yes, I don't have my camera on, but really, let's not follow my poor example. Please turn yours on if you can. I'm going to continue eating Haagen-Dazs and growing a beard. We're going to go a little out of turn today because, as some of you can see, there's yet another offsite function, which includes some of the regulars on the call. And as I understand, Mita has to run in just about 15 minutes. So we're going to start with technical updates first. And also, if you're going to have questions regarding technical updates, please ask them as soon as Mita is done with his presentation.
Ask them now.
Ask them now.
Yeah. Actually, yeah, I'm on internal ToneLab Summit. Let me show you some of that. So people are actually on the break now. So I'll have just 15 minutes because we will need to start another session on that.
Okay, good. So go.
Yeah. So as you know, we restarted Rust Cup like warm up a little while ago because we are on the summit, all of us. We cannot run. We don't want to run the load yet because we don't want to finish the summit unexpectedly. So that will have to wait until Monday. But there will be another node update as well before we start, but maybe some warm up on Monday. We have apart from that, there's a lot of technical details that will gonna be released publicly after the summit. It will take some time to prepare all these materials, so like a lot of very interesting discussions here, and some design drafts and some of that. We also invited here several of the Freetone partners to join, and we're having very productive discussions with them. So I will update on all that like the following weeks. And we also broke a speed record on internal testings yesterday, which we did here.
So a lot of interest, very interesting.
I hear myself. Can someone mute, please?
It's Bijan. Bijan, can you mute your microphone, please?
You can mute for him, I think.
Partners.
Can someone mute, please?
Roman, can you mute Bijan's microphone,
It's like
please?
very late response we have from people.
It's done. It's done.
Anyway, so I think we're quite good, and we're making progress even while we're here. So I think that's all from me. There are also some, I think, important discussion that we'll need to have next week about the process of contract-related contests, and how we judge them and what we get, because in the formal verification subgovernance that we have now, we're running some contests for verification and audit of some of the contracts that won the contests previously. And we see, apparently very quickly, we can see that the contests, like winners, the contracts actually are very low quality in terms of all the aspects, basically architecture, huge amount of bugs, and so on. So we will have to a little bit restructure, I think, how we run these technical contests. And there are some ideas how to do that. We'll have this discussion on developer experience subgovernance next week, or at least I'll initiate it, and I hope that it will result in some changes to how we run this technical contest. Like it was a fun year, which we learned a lot, and we did a lot of contests and have a lot of technical solutions. Some of them are great, some of them are not what we were expecting. And it's not because of the contests itself, not because of the model. I'm a big believer in contest model, but because of the of how we are kind of structuring this contest, and that will need to change. But we're learning, and that's part of the process. So yeah, we will get there. Well, thanks. If you have any questions, please shoot.
Yes, please. So if there are any questions for me to speak now, or hold your peace until next Tuesday.
I've got one. You mentioned you broke records yesterday. Do you have any numbers for us?
No,
so
that will have to.
That
will have to wait until the Rust Cup.
Sorry
about that.
What a chip! What a chip!
The tease.
Yeah,
the tease.
But it's because even just to start to explaining this will require me to go through a lot of stuff. So like we'll have to see and wait. But kind of, I think we can. We now can do, I think, Solana numbers, basically.
Ooh, so there you go. Hey, we got it out of them anyway.
Well, it depends on how you count Solana numbers, you know. It's also not one dimension kind of stuff.
Okay. Any more questions, please? Now's the time.
Yeah, I do have one.
Mm-hmm. Go for it.
This is about one of the contests which is now running in Digital. It's about SMV, it's about SMV. Okay, you understand me. So the issue is that, like in the requirements, it said that the refactored version should work with current version of BFTG. And there are some kind of small issues in the master branch and both in the contest branch. with some of the bots. Some of them are too huge to be put in the blockchain, etc., etc. And the question is, should the contestants kind of refactor also BFTG pieces to become working, or concentrate on SMV to work with any system, and for example, submission which will demonstrate that SMV works with like some abstract system which not really works, for example, but just conceptually it works, for example, for dance or for something else. So like, would it be okay to work and concentrate on SMV, or we should also some kind of improve current version of BFTG?
Yeah, well, there is a contest for the BFTG improvements, and I think a lot of that will be discussed next week, how we should structure that. But right now, I think we should concentrate on what we're already kind of in the process of, which is SMV. We need to finish SMV. We need to get it in production, and there's a huge amount of work that both AirSquad team and Provenda team are doing right now, and contracts basically been rewritten as a result of the formal subgovernance input on these contracts. And I hope we will now improve the process in the way where, after the whole cycle of kind of development, a contest cycle, I would say, we will get in the end not only the production ready solution, but also like the bug free solution. So which are not necessarily the same thing all the time. But so I think we need to concentrate on what we're doing now, which is an SMV, and the ability to use the SMV with any type of kind of systems. And the dense SMV for dense is kind of in the work right now. That's what I mentioned. So I think that will be the first application of SMV, but once it's out there, you should be able to connect it with anything. And I think we should connect it to everything. So everything is possible.
Okay, and will it be okay, like to reach out, for example, to Provenda team and to take some like 5 or 10 minutes of consultation on the latest kind of thoughts on how should it be decoupled from and what direction of improvements should be done, like to
well, the AirSquad team is in constant contact with Provenda team. It's a formal process, meaning that there is a formal channel of communication.
I mean for those who participating in contests, is there some kind of channel, or like will it be okay
every time there is a kind of contest which runs in formal verification subgovernance, there is a channel opening between the developers and the formal verification subgovernance, which channel you can.
This is about DJO.
Again,
this is about DJO, and the DJO meetings are postponed each week. They are postponed on the next week.
Yeah, but DJO meetings has nothing to do with Provenda and formal verification subgovernance.
Okay.
So
I'm speaking about DJO contest.
And what has to do with Provenda?
You just mentioned that they are also in contest, so yeah, whatever. I'm just asking about what is the channel of communication on the topics of DJO contests and issues. Or maybe should I submit some agenda for this meetings to happen?
No, before DJO contests are in the formal verification subgovernance process. There is nothing to discuss. You need to like, well, we have the DJO contests happened before, we are formulating now the changes. So the DJO contest already run by the old kind of process, old contest, okay, if I like. So if you may. So in that respect, there is nothing to do with that right now. We need to finish the contest. We need to judge it, and then we will need to add probably some contests on top of this contest for if we need to, or we can just go to the formal verification subgov and say, okay, we have a result of DJO contest, and please verify whatever.
Okay,
No,
so
I
we can
I don't have
kind of
I don't have an
participate.
answer right now.
Okay, we can like participate and support and the contest will be judged by the criteria listed, like old criteria, but just for not doing like double work, it's better to kind of be in contests of current issues and like incorporate the improvements as for this old contests, also make some kind of better codes. For that, the channel of communication is needed, I think, maybe.
Yeah, well, we don't want to open informal channel. Look, you can always, write to Provendo or to anyone, formal verification subgovernance, and ask them something. But in order for it to be in order for people to devote their time formally, we need to have some kind of framework. So it should be the contest or whatever. So I don't know what to say, really.
Okay, fine. I'm done.
Okay, Ivan, thank you. Michael, you have a question? You have a hand raised?
Yeah, hi, Mitya. I'm now trying to help guys from stakingrewards.com to integrate Freeton into their website. And they are experiencing some problems with lack of documentation and lack of endpoints in the API. There is a sort of a list of things that they're interested to have to get it properly installed. But my question is there a plan to extend the API with such data? Because I do expect that such questions might rise in future from different websites, and it would be pretty handy if we could give them this API with enough documentation, not to, just to dig the ground.
By API, you mean GraphQL endpoint?
As far as I get, yes. I'm not into this stuff too deep, as you might know.
And how can I comment? I don't know anything about that. Like, if you have any particular request from them and you want us to help, please, give me some details or send me a message.
I gave the details to Pantas and to Zaitsev, but okay. I was raising.
Well, right now we're all on the summit, so I don't expect anything this week.
Okay, gotcha. Thank you. Cheers.
Cheers. More questions for Mitya?
Okay, guys, thank you very much.
Purposely did that pause to make sure. Okay, Mitya, you are free to go. Go do your own thing.
Thank you, guys. Yeah, thanks. Talk to you soon.
Yep. Bye, Mitya. Right. And Michael, can you put your hand down? Thanks. Okay. Right. So let's just do a very, very quick numbers and stats. Payouts last week. Tokens went to the Community Voice Subgovernance, finally. The SMM Subgovernance, finally. They can work now. The newly formed India and Indian Subcontinent Subgovernance, they got their tokens. And of course, for all the winners who went to the Dubai event, both rewards and travel and lodging expenses have been paid out. So that's that. We had 4 proposals pass this morning. Human Venture for their second KPI and token request. That's done. They're doing a fantastic job, by the way, just amazing. We have a new subgovernance. We have the Japanese subgovernance. Easily the most detailed and meticulous proposal in a subgovernance I've ever seen. I certainly hope the results are equally as meticulous. Welcome, thank you, congratulations. AdGram outperformed their projections based on their partnership proposal, and as a result, requested reimbursement tokens for signups and everything else that they had, which was approved. They got that proposal passed, and we'll try to pay them out this week. And of course, Poker Ton. No need to say more, right? Doing a great job. Their third KPI tokens, that got approved. And we will, like I said, try to get a payment out this week. And that's pretty much it. So let's move to presentations. We have Bijan Nupan. God, I hope I'm at least close on that one. I try so hard. But Bijan, I believe, is with us. Bijan has a plan to revamp the influencers subgovernance, which I think we can all agree does need a major reboot. I know that there are quite a few really good, important influencers that joined that group, and it's not their fault whatsoever. That Daria Artanovska, who organized the subgovernance originally, just basically turned out to be a thieving low-life criminal. There's no other way to put it. But who knew, right? So, well, excuse me for 1 second. So I would absolutely love to hear what you have to say, Bijan. If you want to breathe new life into the subgovernance, I'm all ears. I think we all are. So please go right ahead.
Hey, hi guys.
If you could turn your camera on, that'd be great. It's not
okay,
mandatory.
Okay, please, I do it. Okay.
Thank you.
Let me give some time to turn on cameras. I have some sort of setup here. Okay. I'm sorry, guys. Wait for a moment.
It's not mandatory. If it's a problem, don't worry about it.
Okay. There it is. Hi.
Hey, there he is. Welcome.
I'm sorry for some technical problem here.
That's okay. That's okay.
All right. Thanks. Hi, everyone. Thanks for giving us a chance to make presentation for our reorganized influencer subgovernance. I'm a new initial member to join the team, but as an active member in the Freedom community, I'm familiar with the previous incident of our influencer subgovernance, in which some malicious members stole and interformed by creating so many fictional accounts. That was really bad news for everyone. So this time we have tried our best to maintain diversity by selecting new initial members from different countries like Russia, Ukraine, Nepal, Indonesia, Iran. So it was quite a lengthy process to form a group of initial members who have solid background in cryptocurrency and blockchain sphere. Some older and important initial members from like Gonzalo Alexander from the previous influencer subgovernance joined the newly formed team, but they are real contributors in the Freedom community with result-oriented activities. We have our Telegram group of new initials in which we are making discussion for every steps. Everything is prepared by our team. So as a presenter, I will also mention the previous activities by initiator of this reorganized subgovernance, and as they were also initials of the previous subgovernance. We have already posted a proposal in the Freedom community, and it is still open for discussion there. So would you mind to share the screen of our proposal?
Yeah, go ahead. Rahman, please allow him to share his screen.
Yes,
okay.
sure.
Okay, let me share the screen. Here's the screen of our proposal. I think you have got it, I think.
We see it.
Yeah. Okay. this is our proposal, and here's the descriptions of our proposal why we have created it. And due to the withdrawal of some of the initial members from the influential sub-governance and the theft of the balance, it is necessary to organize our sub-governance and new initials. These documents describes the way to implement control for influential sub-governance for Friton. So we have previous activities from initiators of this sub-governance. We have just mentioned brief summary here, but anyway, I would like to explain each point one by one. Here's our previous activities. Yeah, this one.
If you could just summarize it for us.
Okay, I would like to summarize everything here. When forming the sub-governance, emphasis was placed on the international composition of initials for the direct interaction of project into the crypto system of many countries. These are Indonesia, Iran, India, Nepal, and others. And for 5 months, various events and contests were held, launching in different contests, supporting users of 8 different high traffic crypto forums. Developing different influential programs, launching and maintaining a subscription company, involvement of people in the Friton project, training and integration of the new member into the Friton community. More than 1,500 active users and 600 new community members were attracted to the various activities. And we have received more than 200 high quality and competitive applications from participants from different countries. Their work have helped to spread the words of Friton to mass audiences. Several times we have increased the activity and audiences on the project resources. We have opened full-fledged Friton section in several leading forums, negotiated promotion with several exchanges and much more. So a detailed report is already provided in the Friton community. You can see it here. I have just highlighted it. So our mission is just written here. Here's
Bishan, could I ask you? Yeah, I mean, we can all go to the forum and read it. Would you be able to maybe just within like the scope of maybe 2 minutes, sort of give us an understanding of what's going to be done differently, right, from what has been done already? Because the influencer sub-governance is basically to a major extent a failure, right? So we would love to see it actually work. And I think Joanne is here with us, who's working with social media marketing, and Ben, who's working with influencers as well. It's very important for the community to actually get influencers for the network to talk about us, to work with us. Just summarize for us exactly what the plan is to make that happen, and how is it going to change from what was the original influencer sub-governance to what it is now. Without going through the entire document, we can go and do that ourselves.
Okay, please. It's fine. And this is just our proposal, and if you have already seen them, it's not a problem. So our plan we have set some sort of plan, and our plan is already mentioned in our proposal. I would like to share some of important plans, so how that can help the community. Okay, wait, let me give some minutes. Okay, in our proposal, we have included our front, everyone can see there. In addition, the negotiations are underway with the Biton exchange with 8.5 million users to promote the project to exchange social networks and uses the Friton symbols, banners, and hold contests. Letter of partnership with the exchange will soon be posted on the forum. Community discussions and negotiation have begun with the CoinSplit exchange, which was once top 10. In addition, separate contests are planned to increase social activities to attract and support news forums with target audiences, social media-based activities with influencers, leading bloggers, YouTubers. So basically, we have a crystal clear plan and vision to run our influencer sub-governance, and we have tried to maintain diversity by selecting new initial members from different parts of this world. And most of them are from countries like Ukraine, Russia, Indonesia, Iran, and Nepal, like this. And we have tried to maintain transparency by selecting new initial members. So we have learned so many things from previous incidents, and if it's still needed to do, we have specified some sort of plan to run the influencer sub-governance for long-term purposes. And basically, we try to attract new insular members to the Friton ecosystem. So we also try to attract developers, influencers, bloggers, YouTubers, and many more to the Friton. And everything we have mentioned in our proposal, and that can be observed in our proposal too. So. And this is all about our plan and visions. So we have main taxes. I think main taxes, the tax of our sub-governance is, first of all, in attracting new participants to the Friton systems. And we try to focus target audiences who already understand cryptocurrency, or with them who understand the meaning of or blockchain and cryptography. And we consider our primary tax to be training small and medium-sized crypto business to the project. And these are owner of websites, YouTube channels, exchangers, influencers, owners of large media channels, and covering intra-social groups, etc. There is the people who have their own already developed audiences of experienced crypto users, and we also try to keep the community active by running various creative contests and campaigns.
I apologize. I don't mean to cut you off. I don't. I think what we'll go, and I encourage everybody to please go to the forum and read very carefully all of the details of this proposal. So I think we'll do that. Can you just maybe in 1 minute, because we don't have much more time, can you in 1 minute just basically just tell us the significant difference between what the new sub-governance is doing or wants to do as opposed to what was done before? Just in 1 quick minute. Could you do that possibly? We don't need to go through the document. We don't need to go through the whole proposal. We'll read it. Is that possible?
Oh, yeah. This is just a request of the sub-governance, as we already have an active community, and we have worked very hard to build such a dedicated community on different social medias like Telegram, Twitter, etc. And we are still contributing to the Friton community to the various activities, which can be seen by observing the activity report posted on the Friton forum. Our main priority is to bring our main target is to bring potential influencers to the Friton for the development of Friton community. So it is quite different than the other sub-governments, and we also try to share our plan with and try to coordinate with other sub-governments. We need to make a mutual sharing, I think. Yeah.
Vijan, I have a question. Do you currently have connections to influencers? Do you have specific influencers in mind, and do you already have connections to them, or is this something that you're going to have to build up?
No, I have no connections to them. It's just formed by checking their social activities. We get rolled out by just knowing each other's social activities. That's it.
Okay, thank you.
Does anyone have questions for Bijan?
Okay.
Bijan, am I pronouncing your name correctly?
Yeah, you are correct. Yeah, yes, I will.
Okay.
Okay, same. Yeah.
Okay, good. I'm glad. Does anybody have any questions for Bijan?
Yeah, I was going to say it's sort of a rewording of the question you asked, Ron, but just for a bit of clarity. So, could you give me just an example of a contest you would be looking to run, Bijan, that wouldn't be able to be ran already by, say, the SMM, sub-governance, or wouldn't already apply to something else? And I'm saying forums and that type of thing. And a lot of what I'm saying in this proposal could already, apply into other sub-governance areas.
Okay. Yeah. This is just a plan of a small plan of our programs. This is not everything that we have just mentioned in our proposal. So we have plan to so many physical-based plan will be there in the future. We have just included some sort of plan in our proposal, and that's not enough.
So you haven't really got any solid contest proposals together you're working on, or anything which you think, really wouldn't already fit it somewhere else into the FreeSun ecosystem? Or am I misunderstanding? Sorry.
Oh, I'm not kidding. Oh, please, could you please once again just repeat your question, please?
So if you had to name just one example of a contest, or something you were looking to do as part of your influence of sub-governance that you couldn't propose to another existing sub-governance, could you give one example for me? Just so I can better understand the idea of an influencer sub-governance compared to, say, a social media marketing sub-governance.
Yeah. We try to launch some posting article contest on local sub-government, local region-based activities. So, for example, in Indonesia, we can select some regional-based various channels to post article about FreeTon, and we try to seek more influencer in that locations in their countries. And I think this sort of contest is not shared enough by other sub-governments.
Okay, well, Bijan, thank you very much. I really, really appreciate you coming. I mean, I'm sorry. I think maybe we should have been a little bit more clear. Usually on these calls, most presentations are about 3 to 5 minutes. I would have. We'll do this again, and you and I will maybe DM each other, and I'll sort of help you formulate your presentation. The only thing that I would probably ask for you to focus on is when you say, we're going to form a sub-governance and then we're going to go and try to do something. That's really not how a sub-governance works. A sub-governance works where you already have the influencers, you already have their contacts, you already have relationships with them, and you want to bring them to the network, to the community, and you would do that by using the sub-governance vehicle to make that happen, as opposed to the other way around. That's just a little bit of a suggestion. So maybe think about how to actually already create what one day will be a sub-governance, right? So plan the structure, create the roadmap, talk to the people, explain what FreeTon is, explain how it will work, get them on board, get them excited, and get them willing to be a part of it, and then make a proposal. That would be my suggestion. That's just one person's, one person's idea. Does anybody else have a question or a comment for Bijan? If not, I think we're going to move to the last, last but not least portion of today's call. Right. Let's talk about the DPR contest, stage 2. I know a lot of people's hairs on the back of their necks just stood up. I don't want to dwell on the negative, but there have been more than a few issues with this contest. Let me make it perfectly clear. We're not going to waste time on this community call to debate those details. That's not what we're here for. We can do that in a separate call so that it doesn't turn into what happened last week. But it is important that the whole community understand what happened and what will happen moving forward by consensus. So Darkwing, Alex,
Yes.
I know you have some information you want to share with everybody. Please, let's do it. Let's hear it.
Yes, thank you, Ron. So I will now demonstrate my screen very, very fast. I prepare some little, not little, but little document. It's like a DPR2 report with information about articles, with the comments from judges and participants. Please, this report is not really final, and I think it's not our aim to discuss articles again. It's just a report. It's something. I will share the link to this report in the chat now. But the main thing is in the end of this document. It calls conclusion, and so in this contest, it was very hot. It was very hot and very hard contest. It might be dangerous to be admin of this contest, but so we have several problems, and the main problem that it's said, but all judges couldn't come to a consensus in this contest at this contest, because we have one main problem. And before I say about this problem, I want to say that we have no goal to belittle someone. We have no goal to belittle someone's work. We have only one aim: to make sure that the work and rewards received for this contest are justified, and members who have done their work right will be better than others who didn't. But again, there is no aim to belittle someone's work. So the main aim and the main problem was that we cannot clear check, did the participant use the PR service at the end or not? Because sometimes there are PR services which doesn't place label on the website, but this work which done with PR services are less valuable that have done without it, because participants who use these services, they just send article and click button. I don't know, just one button, and PR service do all other work.
All the work for them, yeah.
Yes. And also judges or admin or nobody cannot write to every magazine, to every website and check, please say us, do you know this article was shared with you with PR service or no, or not? We cannot do it because it will increase. Because it will damage the image of Freeton, and it will be bad for participants too. That's why the only good way to do it confidential and to do it good is to create something like editorial audit group or just audit group. We can think about how it can be named, and this group, like in meritocracy, will consist of people, of members, of members who can we trust because they are well-known members. I write some names which I think is Ron, it's Pavel, Alexander, Filatov too, and I think that we need 2 more people. Maybe. Yes. Sorry.
Ben, Joanne, there are lots of people. Yeah, there are lots of people. I think maybe that should be kind of like a small, quick 2-day sub contest where who would the community entrust to not reveal any information that would potentially harm or in any way reveal private communication between a contestant and any editorial team of any media outlet.
Yes, totally agree with you. So, and I really hope other participants and members really understand why we do it. We don't want to do something bad or say something negative about you, because there was a lot of negative in this contest and a lot of misunderstanding and so on. But it was in the past. Everybody make mistakes, everybody have experience. Now we have this experience. That's why 2 main steps in creation something like new DPR. We maybe not called it DPR because it has some negative color. It can be, I don't know, the publications, everything. It's not matter, because the main mission is to make a value, and that this contest bring value to community. That's why it doesn't matter how it's called exactly. So 2 main steps will be to create such group for such kind of contest, because such audit group can be used in different type of contest, not in publications and so on. And think about the KPIs for next contest, which we would like to have from participants. It's 2 main steps. After we will have consensus in these 2 main points, especially in audit group, because again, I will repeat briefly that our audit group is very important, because there will be trusted members who will check everything. It's very, very important. And after that, we can start think about launching a contest like this for members who want to do some work in making publications about Freeton on different websites. So I think that's all. And one little know that we can continue to argue again, but if we really want to do something useful for the community, we need to come to a consensus. So that's all.
We do. I think we'll do the whole consensus thing in community voice, right? We're not going to do it here, right? Thank you for your presentation. By the way, Alex, I know you wanted to admin the DPR contests, and you know how the saying goes is be careful what you wish for.
Yes, it's when I won it, I don't know that I will have so negative about my person and so on. And yes, it's very dangerous to be admin. It's very hard.
No, it's not dangerous. It's a very responsible position, because you're taking on a whole lot, and I think you're doing an amazing job. Thank you for taking the hits. You know, you put yourself out there, right? And you're taking the hits for it, and you're doing it like a trooper. really appreciate all the work that you've done. Seriously, I mean, thank you.
Thank you.
And I'd like everybody who's part of the DPR contest to please take it easy on Alex, on Darkwing, because, you know, he's you know, everybody aims their pistols at him. And maybe, I don't know, I only became involved just a little bit ago. I'm still trying to sift through all the baloney that's in there. It's very complicated. You know, I'm always willing to take the hits. So I'm willing to take a little bit of the fire on myself. So if anybody wants to yell at me, yell at me. My skin is pretty thick. So thank you, Darkwing, Alex. Appreciate it very much. Ben, you have your hand raised. Please.
Yeah, just a quick one. I'll second what you were saying there, Ron. Yeah, excellent job, Alex. It must have been the hardest blooming thing in the world, adminning this contest this time round. I've said it a few times. I won't go into detail, but taking on what you've shown there about an editorial audit group, I've actually had notions, dreams, ideas of something kind of even one step bigger than this in terms of getting everyone in that blooming group to be working together and working from the same hymn sheet. So I'd love to have a chat with you at some point, Alex, about possibly combining the ideas of what you've got here with my very optimistic dreams of a harmonious PR side for Freeton. So I've popped the link in there. It's only a very quick work in progress draft, but yeah, I mean, if we think it's got legs, I'm going to keep pushing this idea until everyone tells me to shut up, or we adopt it.
Thank you. I will read it. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
I think I've posted it a couple of times, but there's been so much noise in these groups that it's probably got lost. But yeah, anyone who's involved in that side of things, please do take a look. You know, leave notes, that kind of thing. I'm a dreamer.
Awesome, Max, please.
Yes, good day.
Good day.
Can you hear me? All right. Yeah, to add something to what Ben said, Ben, if you really looked into the details, I don't think you would comment on that this thing is right. I mean, the whole thing that Alex was because I take him as a dark, whatever. Okay, anyways, what just was said is just there is a lot of wrong with it, and it just brings everything to a higher level. I mean, to how I see this, the whole issue there started when organizers started to demand participants to prove how they achieved the results. And they started doing this by demanding to present like emails, contacts, communications to some trusted group. So this is very wrong to do, just on basis of that violates common laws and any type of even standards in the crypto community, and not even to mention that it does not go with the spirit of our declaration of decentralization at all. I mean, think about it, what you're doing. It basically becomes a variant of censorship, where we have to entrust in somebody. We're a crypto community, a decentralized one. What you're doing is you're trying to centralize this on top of every other thing that is fundamentally wrong. So I don't see how this is in any way good. So plus we're having this issue going on, and it's been thrown around as basically the common thing is the presumptions of the innocence, and which some members basically arm themselves with. So we as members of the community, we don't consider this acceptable in any way. So do you agree with this?
Quite frankly, Max, no, buddy. I'm an initial member in the Community Voice group. I've actually looked through pretty much every article individually, and I've tried not to take into account anyone else's kind of findings or feelings on it. I've tried to go into it complete blank slate. I won't go into individual entries, but there were some clear kind of ones which were better than others, and there were clear ones which just didn't really follow the initial rules of the contest. One of the initial rules of the contest, which I debated when we first put the contest proposal forward, was the use of PR services and newswire services and such. It was actually the mistake I made in the first round. You know, I was short on time. I had a friend. You know, I chucked him a little bit of B&B to.
Wait, we don't cut people off, Max. We don't cut people off.
No, I don't mean to cut him.
No, so let Ben finish. Let Ben finish.
There were clearly some articles from some participants where they were going out in very obscure publications, which is clear indication of this type of thing. I mean, in decentralization terms, it was in the rules of the contest. You know, if you'd have read if anyone read the proposal, clearly you would see, you know, it's not game and it brings no value at the end of the day is the main thing. You know, there's no point having the greatest article in the world on, like, I don't know, the Hereford Explorer, you know, where it's just read by a handful of farmers in, you know, Sussex somewhere or something like that. You know, again, my idea is, I don't know, you couldn't call it a form of centralization, but it's more bringing together decentralized people to do the job of a, you know, a brand of an image, which is kind of what Community Voice is about, getting us all singing off the same hymn sheet with the same voice. That's my 2 cents, buddy.
I would also like to respond, Max. I think calling it centralization is taking it a step beyond and too far. We aren't going to, we would not want, I'm going to finish. So I wouldn't say that what we're going to do is just decide, like a small group is going to decide who. This too needs to be a proposal, and it too needs to be voted on. So there's no centralization here. And the premise of this group would be to simply verify communication. And one of the major underpinning values of this group is that any communication that is shared with this group is to remain private. So I understand where you're coming from in saying that, okay, well, now we're forming like a subgroup, but in a way, it's basically just an analytics portion of a contest that unfortunately doesn't allow for any kind of verification of true value, which is absolutely the most important part of it. And here's the thing, this can also be done on a voluntary basis. For instance, Max, if you and your submission and you don't want to share that information, that is your right. So hence no centralization. Nevertheless, if you choose to do that, obviously, and somebody else chooses to share it, then that becomes a portion of the evaluation process. So it's up to you. Nobody is forcing you to do anything, but there is an option now, or there will be, or should be an option, where if there's a discrepancy and people can't figure out whether or not you actually had any communication with the editorial side of a news outlet, that you can prove that you did. And none of it will become public. Hence, there is no reputation damage to Freeton or to the publication. It all basically is just within the framework of a contest. I believe, and this is my opinion, that this is the only way to solve this problem. The other alternative is to end the DPR contest altogether. I favor the former. I believe that this can work, but it can only work if all of us understand that we're not just going to rely on your defense of your proposal if there are questions. And not just you, Max, obviously. There are others. So, and if I may, I'm going to take a little bit of a personal stance, which I promised I wouldn't do, but I'm going to do it anyway. I do believe that the people, you know, there's a saying, the loudest one in the room is the guilty party, right? I do believe that there has been some manipulation, and it's okay. Look, I mean, come on, we're all human beings, right? I mean, at the end of the day, we all want tokens. I mean, do you think I'm you know, nobody's an ideal person, but I would ask, I would beg, I would get on my knees and beg and say, guys, come on, we are all part of a major movement. This thing, Freeton, is so much bigger than all of us. And let's not get into little petty arguments over because, oh, I want a token here and I want to win this. At the end of the day, look, I mean, if you used a service, just say, you know what? Yeah, I used a service. I think that would go a long way. And actually, I think some of the jurors might actually see that as being, you know, a very honorable thing to admit, because we've all done it. And that's it. I mean, that's all I really want to say.
Yeah, that is Ron. That's just wrong. I mean, you said a lot, but I mean, you danced around the point that I'm making. So that's just wrong to do. I mean, to sugarcoat and not to actually address the problem. And in general, to tell you, just in general, there was no such rules that somebody needs to contact editors and prove anything. And even conceptually, why do you, as a concept, why do you create administrative barriers if you, like you said yourself, you want value? Why anybody would, I'm not defending anybody's, like the notion and narrative that you raise and other ones raising, that somebody's defending. What you're saying is, oh, whoever is the loudest is the guilty one. Wrong.
That's philosophical. I'm sorry, I was being philosophical.
Please don't push these ideas, because you have weight. You know your position. You're like TONLab guy, and please don't spread this around, because some people who don't know the details of what's going on, they listen to you, they get ideas. That's very wrong to do. Just let's be on the point. So circling back, I mean, I don't think even in the next DPR, if that happens, nobody should actually restrict any kind of like usage of like agencies. You guys restricted PR here in this contest. Nobody used PR. If they use, there are special tags and they've been removed. But now it's just one idea of somebody that's being pushed, and it's causing all these havocs, basically. It's causing all these problems, which you know yourself, there is nothing to prove there. And then you basically bring all of us to a bigger issue here. So the problem again, like if you write next, I mean, contest rules, I don't suggest you're like limiting people on how they do things. Well, if you want value, just concentrate on value, because this is creating a bigger issue. And I'm not trying to defend. Actually, I wasn't the one who was like blamed on or suspected in usage of like whatever, a mass PR service. And I honestly don't think anybody used them, because it doesn't look like it. For example, some judge contacted me, but then he's like, he wanted to find out like what were the difficulties of getting things done. I told him I contacted over 50 editors. I did this with them and that. I don't know if he sent that to another group, because he contacted me later and he's like, okay, I see in your sentences here, there is like some kind of bad language, like you saying you don't trust me, you don't trust this. So can you edit that stuff out so I can forward it to the group? Not acceptable, not acceptable. So again, the issue at hand is the violation of the common laws and our privacy as the community here.
There are no common laws. You're using. I apologize. I apologize. You're using legal language.
No legal language. No,
it doesn't apply. It just doesn't apply.
No legal language is being used. There is nothing, so to speak, as you label legal is being used here. Okay. What is a legal language? What kind of legal language? A common law, or that I'm referring
well, common law is the basis of. There is no common. There is no law here.
Excuse me?
There's no.
There is no laws.
Here.
So there is no laws on top of us. We're like in a sandbox here. We're not public. We're not like, there is no laws. Is that what you're saying?
there are no laws that govern Free Ton except for your individual, where you live individually and what you do individually.
Guys, sorry to interrupt you, but maybe we can discuss that, and maybe we can make 3 options. I prepared such solution. The first, that we can make a audit group for that, right? Second option, that we can rethink of DPR contest and make some kind of soft criteria. Of course, we can continue that, right? And the third option, that we should finish all this contest as well and rethink how to make it better, or maybe we don't need such decentralized PR. We need to think about it, because the main problem that we have now, that we distribute journalists, right? We cannot discuss and solve problem in our community, this decentralized PR. And what can we get in the future, that other journalists, they won't write anything about us? That's the main problem. We should think about it.
Well, conceptually, this thing is wrong. And what's next? Oh, in the other contest, because I'm not only involved in the PR. So next time you're gonna ask to reveal like communication with developers and how much I paid somebody, or how much I pay for a server and this and that, and prove that I actually did this. Is this gonna go on like this? You guys don't understand.
No, you're taking it now.
Conceptually wrong.
Okay. So sorry, everybody. Okay, Max, how do you think we should measure, criticize? How can we measure the value of participants' works, of articles? I think we should stop to criticize everybody. So I mean,
criticizing, we're discussing.
No. I mean, maybe you have some. Stopping to discussing this, and maybe you have some fresh ideas about how, if not audit group. Okay, let's forget this word in English. Let's think about it. But how can we measure? We need.
In other words, do you have a better?
I got you. I made out what he's trying to say. So if you ask me, yes, I can give you, suggestions on how you can cap the value, how you can target the value. I mean, it's you the KPIs are used, this and that. I mean, I don't want to go into details. If you want, I can give you suggestions. It's all doable. This is not something new. It's just the way the organizers, I mean, they've done one set of rules. They had everybody participate, comply, and now they're raising these issues, and this is becoming even a bigger issue that spreads out through the whole community, and it does affect the whole community. And I completely don't agree that we as a community, we are not under any laws. We're not in space, guys. And let's deal at the issue at hand. I mean, and then in the next DPR, let's do the value proposition. Let's do KPIs. How do you achieve value? What you guys did here is you set a value criterion as it was in the step of getting your article basically proved and then sent to a resource that is under 150 Alexa rankings. And
you have a point. You have a point. You absolutely have a point. The fact of the matter is that the contest, and I'll take the fire here, right? Because Mitya's not here, I'll take the fire. So I think the problem started with when the contest was drafted. And by the way, this is decentralization at work, right? So a contest was drafted, an idea was brought about. It had flaws. As we progressed, we learned it had a lot more flaws. And at the end of the day, like I obviously am a proponent of value over anything else because I believe in Free Ton. That's my baby. I want my baby to be healthy. Nevertheless, things happen along the way. And I'll admit my fault for trying to fix something in hindsight. But Max, it is important to realize that we do have an option to always put a proposal forward to fix something. That does exist. That's part of how a community grows, especially in terms of social scalability. You make a mistake, there are ways to fix it. It's not a matter of going back and saying, oh, let's just redo the whole thing. No, it's about going back and saying, oh, this was wrong. We made this mistake. We made that mistake. Let's ask the community. Let's vote on it and see if we can fix some of the problems to make the best out of a bad situation. That's different. However, agreed. I think at this point, we need to just accept what happened, live with it. That's decentralization. But before a DPR3 contest runs, or whether it even should run, and as Alex was saying, maybe the whole thing just needs to be redone.
Yes.
A lot of work needs to go into it.
I do, however, KPIs, installs, etc. That's how you measure.
Value. Yeah. We need a way to measure value. We need a way to measure value because I agree that anything that deals with PR, that deals with anything where you can pay $500 and get things just listed, there's no value. Remember, you all own tokens. You're going to win some tokens. You want those tokens to have value. For them to have value, this kind of, excuse my French, bullshit, where, people are just paying to just, your tokens aren't going to be worth anything if there's no value for the network. So you also have, everything you do is an investment into your own wallet. If there's value and influencers and people with millions of followers pick that up, if news sites and media outlets pick that up and they give it to readers who have social media influence and they retweet it and they use it, the value of what's in your wallet is going to grow, right? So it's not about a one-time hit. It's not about, oh, I won a contest, I got some tokens. Your tokens are going to be worth shit unless you're actually creating awareness. So that awareness is the value. So how do we identify that value in the next contest? And it needs to be very clear. And I am still a fan of the idea of creating some sort of a group. Again, the group being created through a vote, through a proposal, which is decentralized. It's a decentralized process. And then making sure that that group has the ability to see whether or not people are dealing with editorial teams. Because I can't think of another way to do it. And Max, if you have an idea of how to do it, fine. That's
Ron, great. Please understand, there is no way to do this. And again, like,
I don't agree with
why you guys, the one guy said something, all of you are lobbying and you especially fixated. Maybe you just don't understand.
What one guy? Wait, stop. You keep saying this on every call. What one guy?
Because I'm stating a fact. I'm stating.
No, you're not. No, you're stating your opinion. You have no.
That's not an opinion. Go on the forum and see who produced this notion.
It doesn't matter if it's right. Again, let's
not argue about this.
No, because you're the one who brings it up every time, and that is a little bit annoying to me. Because you have identified one person.
This is not annoying.
You have identified one person of the community who you don't like, and you're pushing an agenda, and I don't like.
No, that's not true.
Ron and Max,
not
stop.
True.
Please
no,
stop.
What I was, let's not get into. I'm not getting into personalities. What I'm trying to say again, like we didn't have any of those. We started leaning towards value based on this and that of this contest. So let's keep this contest at what it is and judge it normally, and then go into the next one because we didn't have any KPIs here. And nothing about the value, how you perceive it personally. So, I mean, let's leave it at that. And I don't think conceptually, I don't care if, there will be a group created for what. I don't see any reason to create any group. For example, if you were to create the same contest, I mean, I personally wouldn't care who is using what, as long as it's not like you don't want PR, okay, PR excluded. Who cares who paid what and this if they delivered you the word about the Freeton in a good article to different websites? You don't have any basically you don't have any gauge to figure out if there is a value of there is no value of where it was posted. So, and I would leave it as this.
I would argue that it is very industry understood. Hold on. Okay, no.
Nobody.
I'm gonna say something in retort. Okay. So yeah, there is an understanding that something that's written by an editorial team that's not sponsored content, not PR written, has value. Anything sponsored, anything that's paid for doesn't. That's a understanding that the entire media community has. We don't need to argue it because it's beyond us. So, but I agree. Value comes from reading, from people, from users, people who read it, people who shared it, that sort of thing. How you achieve that, I agree. I don't personally care, but it is universally true that those means that are used by paying to have that done don't produce those kinds of results. Real results are produced by people picking up good articles and publishing them on their own by their own initiatives and not by being paid for it. This is fact. No, this is a fact.
No, let me give you an example. Do you know like Bloomberg? Do you know all other financial sites?
I do, and I personally don't put weight on Bloomberg or Forbes or any of those sites.
I'm giving you just an example.
Sure, yeah, of course I do. Who doesn't?
In this arena, the sites where you have a lot of eyeballs, there is very little chance that you're going to have somebody from the community here that will create a masterpiece of an article or something like this that will be picked up by a major news. There's very little chance. The reasons why are different. We're not discussing this. And if you want your point to be sent across there, you would have to pay and pay a lot. That's just the industry. You said yourself, you're not.
And really, there you go. And I agree. I 100% agree with you.
Not true.
And that is why we're seeing. See, this is you hit the sweet spot, right? You're saying that you don't believe that somebody can do it. This contest.
I didn't say that.
This contest is for those who can. No, the contest is for those who can, and those who can't don't deserve rewards. So you can't.
That's fine. Not what I said.
We're looking for somebody who can, and that's who's going to get the tokens.
Guys, I'll mute you.
That's not what I said. Let's not jump into particular words and trying to.
So let's try to attract people who can get Bloomberg to do it.
Let's move on the forum, guys. Please stop argue and let's discuss that on the forum. They will be
on the forum and in Convoys. Yes, I agree. This call needs to end. Yeah.
And just a second, I will say some word very briefly. Everybody of us have their own ideas how to measure the value of articles, of PR, and so on. It's not bad, it's good. And so let's maybe write it in one document. For example, all ideas, your ideas, Max, Ron, Roman, me, everybody who have some opinion about how can we measure pro and con for it. Because, for example, just an example, views is maybe a good parameter, but it can be raised by, for example, robots or something like this. That's why it's very controversial parameter. So what I think we should not stop, but maybe yes, stop discussion about this with loud voices sometimes, and try to make everybody offer something, offer their way of measure the value, and try to pick up from this, for example, list of different ways to measure points which can be used in the measure the articles. For example, someone think that audit group is good, someone think that views is good, and we really try to come to consensus. I don't know will we go to it, but I hope everybody will do.
Let's do it. Good idea for the next one. And let's finish this according to the rules and be done with it. That's my opinion.
Nothing will end with all. Now, as I say in the beginning of my speech, it's the past. We have some conclusions, we have some results, but it's the past. DPR is end. What I want to say that...
You mean DPR is end?
DPR2 is end. DPR2 is end. I mean, no, I mean it will be ended after voting end. I hope you understand me. Really, sorry if
not always.
In other words, what's done is done.
Yes. So, I hope.
Yeah, that's perfect, guys. Wow, hour 20 minutes, and I said we're not going to have this debate on the community call. People who are going to come and visit our YouTube channel are going to go, "What the hell?" But that's decentralization at work. We're public, right? So, all right, Max, thank you very much. Alex Darkwing, thank you very much, and I can see in your eyes we put you through the ringer, man. You're doing a great job, by the way. You really are. You're the voice of reason. Roman, thank you. Michael Kabanov, thank you. Dmitry, thank you. Everybody, thank you very much. We're going to take this back to ComVoice, and we're gonna make this work one way or another, right? Because we're a community. We all love each other, even if we argue. Thank you. We will see you Tuesday next. Appreciate you all. Have a wonderful rest of your week.
Thank you.